to this edition of UpFront, a monthly program produced by New Hanover County Schools. I'm Ann David. Each month here on UpFront, Superintendent of Schools Dr. Tim Markley joins me to talk about district-wide issues, accomplishments, and programs, as well as to answer questions from you, our parents and viewers. Today, we have a special show in store for you. This show will be a special interest to middle school and high school students as well as their parents. In an hour-long edition, we'll sit down with each of the 4 non-traditional high school principals and learn about their schools and the programs that they have to offer. It's going to be a show packed with great information, but first, Dr. Markley joins us to get us started. Welcome, Dr. Markley.
And it's good to be back here. I'm excited about this show. We have 4 high schools that are non-traditional, and they serve each one of them a very distinct purpose, and you're going to hear about those from those principals today. And why we have these is we have 4 great high schools, but they're large 1,700 student high schools, and sometimes parents want a different choice. They want a program that offers their students something different. So you're going to find out from these 4 schools about 4 distinct and different programs that offer our students opportunities and choices. Because we want all of our students to be successful, and we've got to provide them different environments in which to be successful.
That sounds wonderful. I know it's important to reach students where they can learn best and be successful. About how long have we been offering the non-traditional high school routes?
It depends on which school you're talking about. C-Tech is our newest one. They're heading into their 3rd year next year. Both WEX and Isaac Bayer, which are early college programs, have been around for well over a decade. And then our Mosley Performance Learning Center has been around for as long as I've been here, which is and longer. And that is a really unique program for students for whom that traditional school just isn't working. It's got some flexible hours, some flexible learning. It's got a specialized academy within its school. And so we're excited about these programs because, as I said, our job is to serve all of our students and to provide them with opportunities that meet their needs.
That's great. Is there anything in particular you want to cue parents in on before we get started talking to these principals?
Timing. It is, we're talking about school next fall, but these students have to think about enrollment when they get back from Christmas. A lot of these folks have been to elementaries already, to middle schools already, doing the presentations, telling them about the schools. But parents are going to have to make the choice and fill out those applications almost as soon as they get back from Christmas, because we have to do our enrollment in February. So you can't put this decision off. And if you have questions, listen to what you're going to hear today. And then feel free to call those schools and talk to them one-on-one about the programs that are there.
So that's the best option, is to approach each school individually.
Yeah, there is, like I said, there are information nights being held at the middle schools. Many of those have happened already. You can go to their websites. They have extensive information on each of the individual school websites, which you can get to through our website. And then you can call those schools and they'll do tours or have conversations with you about enrollment. But you got to get those applications in. And like I said, when you come back from Christmas, we're going to be rolling right into enrollment season.
Well, that's great. That gives us some starter information. And we're going to talk about some questions as we wrap the show up.
Sure.
But we wanted to give everybody a good solid start. So now don't go away, because we'll be right back. We'll sit down with the first of our non-traditional high school principals and learn about their school. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Start your day with New Hanover County Schools, the morning show. This Rise and Shine program will put a smile on your face and a spring in your step. Best of all, you'll start the day a little smarter, knowing more about our district leaders and teachers, discovering new frontiers in science and technology, and getting the latest school news from across the district. New Hanover County Schools, the morning show, educating all viewers to achieve today and tomorrow in a global community. Only on this channel.
Welcome back to UpFront with the Superintendent. We are joined now with Regina Wooten, principal at Wilmington Early College High School. Welcome, Ms. Wooten. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Excellent. So you're first up, and so first of all, tell us a little bit about how you arrived at Wilmington Early College to be the principal.
Okay.
What drew you to the school, because I'm sure that's important for parents to know your passion for this type of education. And then you just tell us what you'd like for parents to know about what's special about Wilmington Early College and what will benefit their students.
Okay. Well, first, what drew me to Wilmington Early College? I've been in education for almost 30 years, and I started out in Wayne County, then I moved over to New Hanover County. And I started at Wilmington Early College about 6 years ago as program coordinator, and then became principal. And I was drawn there simply because of the non-traditional environment, simply because it focused on first-generation students or students whose parents have not been to college. And because that's my background, I saw the importance of that and the need. And while being there, I see that that is an important need because students and parents are able to save money because they're able to get their associate's degree and then transition onto a four-year college or university.
And can I ask you a question?
Yes.
For those parents that may not understand what an associate's degree is, what is that in conjunction with maybe going to college or going to community college? How does that factor in?
Okay, an associate's degree is what students can receive from a community college. And that basically is those first 2 years of a four-year college or university, those general college requirements. So our students can get an associate's in arts, an associate's in science, an associate's in engineering, or an associate's in fine arts, depending on where their passion is and what they want to do. And it just saves their parents money because it cuts out that if they do it right, then our students will go to Cape Fear for 2 years and they can transition to UNC Chapel Hill, East Carolina University, Western Carolina, Pembroke, any of the North Carolina A&T State University, any of the 16 state schools, and spend 2 years. For those that are interested in engineering, for those students, generally they spend an additional 3 years because many engineering programs are 5 years, or students generally spend 5 years.
Excellent. So what draws a student to Wilmington Early College?
The personalization. We have approximately from 15 to 25 students per class. So students who are accustomed to a smaller learning environment are generally attracted to our school. And because they're looking for more that one-to-one teaching style, for hands-on, for teachers who they know are going to push them, teachers who they know are going to care, and many of them just are looking for that smaller environment.
Do you feel like that the students need to have a degree in mind when they come there, or is it something that they feel like this is where they want to go and can kind of fall into one of those associate categories once they get there?
We get both types of students. We have some students who, when they walk into our door, they know what they want to do. They know they want to go to North Carolina State University and become an engineer. They know they want to go to UNC Chapel Hill and study law. And then we get the ones who enter into us and are like, I have no idea what I want to do. Please help me. So we get all types of students. And we get those who, when they come into us, have no idea, and some who don't even know where their strengths are. So we have a staff who works with all of the students in order to kind of help them focus in on what they're best at and to help them find their strengths so that they can become better students and then, become better adults.
Excellent. Well, and just to let parents and students know, how does it start, say, that first year? What makes it different than going to regular high school? Do they take different classes? Are there different requirements?
The first year for us is probably the most difficult year because it's the transition year. They come into us and from middle school to high school, they're taking 4 honors classes. They're traditional, they're English 1, Math 1, World History, Earth and Environmental Science, and then they take Microsoft. So for that, they come in and they're in those 4 academic classes and then their business class. And our Math 1 and World History and English 1 are all for the year long. And so they're becoming acclimated to high school. So the teachers start off kind of slow, getting them acclimated, and then they're not accustomed to having the load of work whenever they come with us, because in middle school oftentimes teachers will give them deadlines when they don't turn things in, and so whenever they come to high school, then they're hit with deadlines and when they need to turn things in. And some of our students say that the transition, they're spending more time on homework at night. The second year, they become more acclimated to early college, and some of our students, if they come to us with high school credits from middle school, like we have a lot of high school students, middle school students who are taking Algebra 1 or Math 1, right, or who are taking Earth and Environmental Science, or who are taking American History in middle school. So for those students, they begin taking college classes in their sophomore year.
Right, because they have exposure to North Carolina Virtual High School
exactly.
to take some of those things.
Exactly.
That's great. Yeah.
Exactly. And then their second year, they finish up pretty much their high school career or the high school classes, and then their junior year they begin taking college classes, and many of them begin taking 4 college classes the first semester. But because we're on the North Campus of Cape Fear, we keep those students on North Campus Cape Fear just so that we can keep an eye on them. And then second semester, junior year, then some of them begin taking college classes downtown. So our kids are split between 2 campuses. So they're on our campus, and then they're on North Campus of Cape Fear, and then they're downtown.
Okay, then that brings up a parent question. Mm-hmm. Logistical transportation, how do they get there that first year when they're non-drivers? And then kind of walk us through, transportation issues as the year goes on.
Okay, so for a 9th grade year, most of our students ride the buses. And whenever non-traditional is not in session, the buses pick them up from their home and then bring them to us. When traditional is in session, then the buses pick them up, take them to their district school, and then from the district school they ride a shuttle to us. But then they all go home at the end of the day. So logistically speaking, whenever traditional is in session, then they shuttle to their district school, then they shuttle to us and to the other non-traditional schools, with the exception of one. And then in the afternoon, then we go home. And our day is a little longer. So, our kids in the afternoon do spend a little bit more time on the bus. And then we have some parents, because of that parents do drop them off. And we have the building where we're in that does kind of loop around, so parents can drop them off or pick them up in the morning.
Okay, and so once they start driving.
And then once they start driving, then they get a parking permit and they can drive to North Campus, but we still encourage them to take the shuttle, because we have a shuttle that runs from our North Campus to downtown for students that are taking college classes. So for the juniors and seniors and super seniors, then they can drive to North Campus and take the shuttle. And the shuttle leaves every hour beginning at 9:30. So we have the shuttle that runs from 9:30 to 1:30 and then comes back to us on the hour.
Now, I know that students are also maybe a little bit concerned about the difference in extracurricular activities between Wilmington Early College and a traditional high school. Can you kind of go over some of the things that are not class related?
Yes. For our 9th and 10th graders, because they're on our campus, they have the opportunity to participate in clubs on our campus. So we have some of the standard clubs. We have SGA, we have an art club, we have ambassadors, we have and a sports club. So we have different clubs that the kids can participate in. And we have FBLA, which a lot of students participate in middle school. So they have those clubs on the high school side. And many of them participate in those clubs 9th and 10th. And we have some FBLA students that stay through their senior year. And once they get into college side, then they can participate in some of the college extracurricular activities. So they can participate in the clubs on the college side. Many of them are inducted into Phi Theta Kappa. Many of them belong into different clubs based on academics. So they have that option. They cannot participate in sports on the college side, but they can participate in sports on the high school side. And our kids participate in sports at Laney High School.
Okay, so they do have a designated high school.
Yes.
All right. Well, we're coming to a close of our segment here. Is there anything else you'd like to let parents know as we wrap up?
Yes, I just want parents to know that New Hanover County offers options for our students and for the parents. And with Wilmington Early College, then we are a non-traditional school, and students can graduate with us with not only a high school diploma, but also a degree. That, in the long run, does save parents money, and it also provides students that opportunity to more or less push themselves academically and to get that learning stretch as they're preparing for post-secondary, either career or additional college.
Well, that sounds like Wilmington Early College is a wonderful opportunity for many students. And as Dr. Markley said, they can contact you to come and see the school and get ready to get their applications in on time.
Yes, and applications will be, as he said, starting in January. So yes, we're excited about the prospect.
Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Now don't go away. We'll be right back with our next guest.
Your School News, covering news that matters for parents, guardians, and greater New Hanover County. Featuring emerging trends in learning.
Organizing a classroom into workstations is fast becoming one of the newest methods in teaching.
Topical education issues from across the county.
You're going to see a priority on a lot of the issues that were a priority for New Hanover County are a priority statewide.
And news on K-12 education issues affecting our community and state.
The thing that I'm trying to stress as I go across the state is we need to give schools flexibility. Flexibility to innovate, like right here in this traditional public school, this magnet school.
Your School News brings viewers more than 8 hours of school news and information so you know what's happening in the district, what students are learning, how the school system operates, and beyond. Your School News, only on this channel.
Welcome back to Upfront with the Superintendent. We're joined now by Dr. Steve Sullivan, principal of Isaac Bear Early College High School. Welcome, Dr. Sullivan.
Thank you, Ann. It's a pleasure to be here.
We're so glad to have you to talk about Isaac Bear. And if you could kind of give us a little bit of a highlight on your journey to get to Isaac Bear, what drew you there, and a little bit about the school in general.
Sure. This is about my 27th year in education. All those years have been in traditional high school settings, and I've always been fascinated about the opportunities at smaller schools. And Isaac Bear, we only have 233 students, and I've always been a proponent of being able to build relationships with students and working closely with students, and having the opportunity to go to such a small school where, to borrow a phrase, everyone knows everyone's name. It was something that I couldn't pass up on. So it's been a great first year for me there, and I'm excited about what we're doing. And I've learned a lot. The teachers have taught me a lot. The students have taught me a lot. And so it's been a great beginning. The school itself, as I said, we have 233 students. About half of them are 9th and 10th grade students, and they are taking classes at the Isaac Bear College, Early College building.
And where is that, just for folks to get the logistics on UNCW campus?
Well, if you're going north on College Road, so on McMillan Street, it's right before you get to Cookout.
Okay.
So it's kind of a street across from UNCW, the same
Close
side
to
as
the
UNCW.
track and field.
Yes, we're right around the track and field.
So y'all are
area
just
there.
on the edge of the campus.
Yes, we're on the edge of the campus. We do have shuttle service for our students who are taking courses on campus. So the transportation is really not much of an issue. And although the campus is getting bigger, there's still a lot of opportunities for kids to take bikes, to walk, and to take shuttles as well.
So what kind of student is drawn to Isaac Bear?
Well, as Regina said earlier, the students that we get as part of the North Carolina Cooperative Innovative High School program, they have basically three qualities that they look for. One, are they first generation students? Are they students who have potential for dropout? Or are they students who need an accelerated program? About 50% of our students are first generation college students, or will be first generation college students. But all of them would benefit from an accelerated program. And what we offer at Isaac Bear is a very accelerated program. Their 9th and 10th grade years, they'll be completing 21 credits, and they'll have the equivalent of the credits to graduate from high school by the end of their sophomore year.
Oh goodness, that is an accelerated
Yes,
program.
it is.
Okay, so that covers everything North Carolina requires for high school graduation.
Correct.
Okay.
And then that way their junior and senior years, they can focus on college classes.
Okay.
They have the opportunity to take up to 60 credit hours at the University of North Carolina at Wilmington. And these are typically in the general education realm. And these courses transfer to all 16 of the University of North Carolina school systems in the state.
Okay. Does this also help with students that want to go to UNCW? I mean, does it make it easier for them to get accepted there, or?
There's no guarantee. They still
Right.
have to perform well, but our students, once they go over there, have a very high percentage of passing rate. They do very well. We have a lot of students on the dean's list. Our students come out with an average of somewhere between 30 to 60 credits that they can use, and we have students going to UNC Chapel Hill, UNCW, UNC Pembroke. They go out of state. We have the opportunities are limitless for them where they can transfer with these credits.
Now, do parents have to pay for the college classes?
No, there's no fee for the college classes. The school and the school system and the state of North Carolina pays for the courses. They pay for the books. The only thing students have to pay for is if they drive on campus, they have to pay for their own parking pass.
Oh, excellent. Well, that is a great advantage for students to get a jump start on college as far as cost.
Absolutely. The savings is tremendous. And again, the myriad of courses that they can take, they can help start focusing on some of the graduate courses or the postgraduate courses that they want to take once they get into college, so they can start focusing. We have several students who are focusing on science. We have one student I was talking to yesterday who wants to be a chemical engineer. So she has finished a lot of her general college courses, or English, or histories, or math and social studies. So now she's focusing on getting as many science courses that she can, so that her hope is to transfer to NC State for engineering.
That's excellent. Well, now, how is Isaac Bear like a traditional high school as far as activities and things like that for students? Because I know a lot of students are very dedicated to learning, but they also like to keep a little bit of the high school feeling.
We are aligned with Hoggard for sports. Any of our students who want to participate would participate at Hoggard. But our biggest activities are clubs. We have a myriad of clubs that students can join. We do clubs every day, every Wednesday, at least once a week, so kids have the opportunity to do that during the school day, during our Smart Lunch period. We also offer tutoring during that time as well, so hopefully if they need tutoring, they're going to that instead of the club. But one of our biggest clubs is our Science Olympiad Club, and we won the region last year. They actually beat Hoggard, so that was a big benefit for them, big feather in the cap for Isaac Bear, and went on to win at the state level, and some of our students qualified for the national level as well.
Now, I know you focused a lot on science, but Isaac Bear is not
No,
completely science-driven.
No, it is a well-rounded,
Right.
cooperative, innovative high school where the kids are getting their general credits, and they are all honors level classes: math, science, English, and we also offer CTE courses that our kids will take. And a few of our students actually start taking college courses during their sophomore years because they've earned credit during middle school.
Excellent. Again, the North Carolina Virtual Public High School, I guess, has helped
Yes.
accelerate middle schoolers
Yes.
along.
And we do have probably a handful of students who will take NCVPS school coursework as well.
Okay. Back to a logistical question, transportation.
We
'Cause
follow
the-
the same transportation as the other early college. Students are transported to their home school, where they are picked up there and brought to our school. We start at 9:15. Our first class starts at, 9 o'clock, and we dismiss at 4:15. So after they get to the traditional school, or their home-based school, we have transportation to our school. At the end of the day, after the traditional schools have taken their students home on the buses, they come back and pick our students up, and we dismiss at 4:15.
Now, something I forgot to ask Ms. Wooten, and maybe it works the same with you as well. I know she mentioned traditional calendar versus the calendar y'all on. Are y'all on the same calendar as the high school, or is that somewhat
No,
different?
we are separate. Our calendar follows the calendar of UNCW. So we begin the 1st of August, and we are starting our exams for the first semester next week. So we will finish up with our first semester with exams prior to the holiday break. And when we come back in January, we'll start off with our new second semester. So one of the benefits that we do have is At our traditional schools right now, they carry over into, the first semester carries over into after the holiday break, so students aren't taking their exams until after they come back from that break. We finish ours prior to that.
Like a college, like a
Correct.
general college
Yes.
schedule. Yes, that's the big difference in traditional high school, because
Yes.
they customarily take them when they come back.
Correct. And our school year finishes in May. We also, one of the new things at Isaac Bear this year, we have a small learning community, the Future Teacher Academy. It's a Future Teacher Career Academy. That's new to us this year, and it's kind of a small learning community within the small learning community of Isaac Bear. These are for students who know in high school that they want to pursue a career in teaching. We offer them seminars at UNCW, as well as opportunities to get that head start on becoming a teacher.
Oh, well, that's an excellent opportunity as well.
Yes, it is.
As we wrap up today, is there anything you'd like to address to parents or students that are interested in Isaac Bear?
Well, get to know us. One of the things we want parents to come out and visit. We do offer tours on Wednesdays once a month, and you can go on our website, and there's a link to take a tour of the school, see what's going on. We also have a presentation happening at UNCW next Wednesday, December 12th at 6 o'clock at Bear Hall, where we'll be providing information to all prospective students and their parents. So give us a call, check out our website, come visit. We want to let you know what we're all about at Isaac Bear.
That's excellent. Well, thank you, Dr. Sullivan. I appreciate you joining us
Well, thank
and
you.
letting parents and students know about Isaac Bear.
It's been a pleasure.
Now, don't go away. We'll be right back with our next guest.
Mom and Dad used to argue about everything, especially about Dad's drinking. It drove me crazy. It got so bad, I couldn't do my homework. I couldn't concentrate. I absolutely refused to let any of my friends come to our house for any reason. I would have been humiliated if anyone found out how much my dad drank and how loud my mom screamed at him. My family went from totally crazy to quiet, calm, and even peaceful. The only thing that happened is my mom started going to Al-Anon family groups. Her relationship with my dad really changed. I asked Mom if she would take me to her Al-Anon meetings or to Alateen. I wanted to see if I could have a better relationship with my dad. I'm sure glad I did. If someone's drinking troubling you, you might be surprised at what you can learn in an Al-Anon or Alateen family group from people just like you. Call 1-888-4-ALANON or go to alanon.org.
Welcome back to UpFront with the Superintendent. We are now joined by Mr. Adrian Pearson, the principal at Career Readiness Academy at Mosley Performance Learning Center. Welcome, Mr. Pearson. How are you today?
Doing well. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for joining us. Tell us a little bit about how you came to the Career Readiness. Is there a short name, or that's kind of a mouthful to say?
We've kind of affectionately came to be known as the CRA at Mosley now.
Oh, okay.
Just to kind of say a few syllables.
In case folks hear that, they'll know what you're talking about. Okay, the CRA at Mosley.
Yes. I've been in this system now for over 20 years, various levels. I had opportunity years ago to come over to what was then the Mary S. Mosley Performance Learning Center. Through some committees and discussions with our superintendent, we decided we need to try and start going with the nation and trying to make our students more career and college ready.
Absolutely.
We joined on with the National Federation, NAF, and through NAF we became the Career Readiness Academy at Mosley, and we are an Academy of Finance now.
Okay.
Very small community, very personalized learning. Students apply to come, obviously, through choice, and we look to try and personalize learning the best we can for each student.
Okay, now looking at the Career Readiness Academy, what type of student is drawn to you? What makes your curriculum special to students and helpful to them in their learning?
Well, obviously, like most of our other non-traditionals, the small environment is a very good draw for a lot of students. But we do a lot of the personalized learning. We look for the student that's motivated, obviously, and as we know that some students are college ready, some students are career ready, some are college and career ready. So we try to make sure we tailor to that aspect of their lives.
Okay. Does the schedule, how does it differ from a traditional high school?
The main thing is that it's very similar to our early college high schools in that we try and front load, but not necessarily with the opportunity to get an associate's degree. Our students can get up to 5 portable credentials and also get what is called NAVTRAC certified and their high school diploma.
Can you explain a little bit of that?
The portable credentials come through Microsoft, Microsoft Office, Microsoft Excel, Microsoft Access, and Word and Publishing, of course.
Which are important to just about any job.
Yes, ma'am, absolutely, absolutely. And then with the front loading also gives our students the opportunity to do some work-based learning, some internships, and possibly also some jobs if they decide to go home.
Can you give us examples of some of the things that some of the internships or work-based learning that they are experiencing?
In our early, we're about 3 or 4 years in now. So we have students now who are been very active in Live Bank, which is one of our biggest partners. They do a lot for us, and you get to see a lot through them because students typically come into a situation where they don't know all the aspects involved in a bank. Right. It's not just your teller, not just the person that drives at window. There's a lot of things behind the scenes that go on. So also show them a lot more things about finance to give our students the opportunity.
Well, that's excellent. So does that usually help steer them towards a job or just give them exposure to working?
A little bit of both. The opportunity to steer towards a job, of course, because if they go in and do a good job with their work-based learning or their internship, it kind of gives them a little bit of heads up there. Through NAF, it's a big nonprofit foundation throughout America, and any of our students who finish the NAVTRAC certification will have that denotation on their transcripts, and also will give the opportunity to be put to the top of the list for a college or any partner with NAF for a job interview.
Oh, that's excellent. Now, do your students have an opportunity to take any college-created classes? I mean, do they go to Cape Fear Community College or UNCW or anything?
Absolutely. The College Career Promise is very much in place for our students as well. So with their front loading, as students get through the area, anything that we do not offer on our campus can be either through NCVPS, or we can also give the opportunity to go to Cape Fear Community College for CCP classes.
Oh, that's excellent. And now, students that are drawn to your school, are they students that just are not comfortable with high school or need more flexible scheduling? What type of students are you seeing?
You get the full gamut of that. It's a very motivated student, I said earlier. Student who's looking for a different environment, students who are probably looking to try and get in and have those experiences right away to get them ready for a college and career.
That's excellent. Now, how is it very similar to a regular high school? As I've talked with the other principals, students there, they want to learn, but they like to have a little bit of that social aspect as well. How does that work?
Very similar as well. We have a few clubs, yearbook, FBLA, student government. The students also are coming to me, whether it's through student government, whether through our teachers, suggesting different clubs to move on. We're still kind of growing and expand that piece a bit as well.
Oh, that's excellent.
Recently, through Dr. Markley, and we were allowed to offer our students the opportunity to do athletics at our local high school and our partners, New Hanover High School. So that's also another good draw for our students as well.
Oh, absolutely. Yes, because students that are interested in learning are also interested in athletics. So that's a difficult decision for them to make with anything that we've offered here. Having that extra piece of athletics really helps them know that they can be good learners, but still enjoy athletics.
Absolutely.
Having 2 boys, I've been there and know that. Now, tell me a little bit about the transportation to Mosley.
Transportation to our campus is also just like the non-traditionals, in that they will travel to their local high school or district high school, and they will shuttle to our campus from there. Okay. In the afternoons, all the students go directly home from our campus.
And as they get older and are driving, is there parking, or is it all encouraged to take the transportation?
We have on-campus parking, so we have a little bit more flexibility with our own unit, our own program on campus, so our students can drive, the ones who are eligible to drive. But we do have students that continue to take not only our school district transportation, but also public transportation through the WAVE as well.
Okay. And as far as the schedule, does it follow a traditional high school, or is it a different yearly schedule?
Our calendar is along with the traditional high schools.
Okay, so that's good for parents to know.
And our time goes from 9 to 4.
Okay, all right. So that's an extended day as well. Do you find that helps the students to have more of an extended day?
Yeah, you have a different mix. I think a lot of them appreciate the fact when they first come and find out they had an extra half an hour, they say in the morning to prepare.
Yeah.
So that makes a difference for them as well. With transportation, a little bit easier for them to get home in the afternoons.
Okay. So it's shifted more to later in the morning and longer in the afternoon.
Yes, ma'am.
Was there a reasoning behind that?
The main thing was for transportation.
For transportation.
And overlapping with the buses and things like that.
Oh, absolutely. Is there anything you'd like for parents and students to know? What's important to come to your school? Why would it be, advantageous to them if they're on the fence trying to decide what they want to do? For
our program and any of our programs in our district, actually, you need to get out and make arrangements to visit the campuses. Find out what they're all about. Do not try and live totally on what you've heard or what you think you might know about what the campus used to be. So come out, talk to us, talk to our staff, see what we're truly all about, and then make your decision from there.
Is application process very much the same?
Yes,
coming
ma'am.
up in January?
Absolutely.
So everybody needs to get on it and figure things out.
Our signature program teams will be going out to schools here very soon, making presentations for each program.
To middle schools?
Yes, ma'am, absolutely. And then we'll go from there with the application process.
Excellent. One other question that I haven't really asked the other principals, but just, is there any parent involvement piece with your school? Do parents volunteer, or do you have outside community volunteers? I know you mentioned internships.
Yes, through NAF we have an advisory board, which we have a couple of parents on there as well. We're building that as the years come. The parent involvement piece is something we're looking to continue to build. We do have some very involved parents, and as our program builds, you can see the more interest involved from the parents rising as well.
Excellent. Well, I appreciate you joining us today and letting our parents and students know all about the Career Readiness Center at Mosley. And we hope they'll be applying in January or checking with you to see the school.
Thank you very much.
Thanks so much. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Debt. If you get in too deep, members of the NFCC, the National Foundation for Credit Counseling, can help you put debt in its place.
Credit cards took charge of my financial life. An NFCC credit counselor helped me get back in control. I took charge of my debt.
Student loan debt followed me wherever I went. My NFCC financial advocate taught me all I needed to know. I mastered my student loan debt.
We wanted to buy our first home, but weren't sure if we were mortgage ready. Our NFCC housing counselor helped us make a plan. We're on a path to our first home.
NFCC member agencies serve all 50 states and Puerto Rico. Convenient, knowledgeable, nonprofit, financial advocates there for you.
We put debt in its place.
Get out of debt. You owe it to yourself. Connect with an NFCC certified credit counselor at your local member agency today. Go to nfcc.org/stopdebt or call 877-410-6322.
Welcome back to Upfront with the Superintendent. We're joined now with Dr. Edith Skipper, Southeastern Area Technical High School Principal. Welcome, Dr. Skipper.
Thank you.
Glad to have you with us. Now, we've heard from all the other schools, and CTEC is the new baby on the block, right?
Yes, we are.
Give us a little bit of information of how you came to New Hanover County and CTEC, and then what does the CTEC student look like?
Okay, so listening to my colleagues speak this morning, I was calculating how many years I've been in education and working with children and families, and I too have spent 27 years working with folks and spent the majority of that time in a neighboring county, but heard about CTEC and thought, wow, how awesome would it be to lead a school that is in need. We needed it in our area because we were designed to fill the gaps in the workforce. So that drew me in, being able to hire my own staff, starting from scratch, all of those things I got really excited about. It was very interesting. My parents were both entrepreneurs and my father was a general contractor, so it also is near and dear to my heart. It is what I learned growing up, so providing those opportunities for children in our areas is a great thing.
And CTEC, as well as WEX, is on the Cape Fear Community College campus.
We are housed on the north campus of Cape Fear Community College. We serve 81 students right now, a little bound by space, But next year, we move into our new building on Sidbury Road, half a mile around the corner, really. In terms of how will we make that work when our children are taking college classes, we will be running a shuttle, very similar to the shuttle that Wilmington Early runs from the North Campus to downtown campus. We will run one from Sidbury Road over to the North Campus.
Okay, and back to the other question I asked you was, what does a CTEC student look like? What draws a student to CTEC?
A CTEC student wants a hands-on opportunity. They understand that that is the way they learn best. They also may want a smaller environment. We plan to grow out to 450, but we're still a small school in terms of traditional high school numbers, and personalizing that learning and really getting to know children and building relationships with the families is really near and dear to my heart. I think that's one of the most important things we do, so that we can individualize and help children find their path, help them find their passion. We take our children, so sometimes we bring in children that know what they want to do from the get-go. Their father owns a landscaping company and they want to take over the family business. But then we have a lot that don't know what they don't know. And so one of our jobs is to help them learn to explore all the opportunities on the college side of the house. We also wear the Cooperative Innovative High School label designation. And so while our children can access the college transfer programs, that is not why we were designed. We were designed to fill gaps in the workforce.
Okay, so the students that generally come to CTEC are looking at something that Cape Fear Community College offers certification and training in.
Or credentialing, yes. They could earn an associate in applied science, but they are going to earn workforce credentials and go into the workforce. And maybe if they are looking for a 4-year opportunity down the road, they will have the skill set to put themselves through school. They will be able to secure a job and be able to manage that financially.
Absolutely. So in putting CTEC together, that was what was looked into, is that even students with 4-year degrees need that hands-on workforce experience to get jobs.
Absolutely.
So we're looking at CTEC doing both of those.
Yes. And I think another thing that is really important and probably different from the other schools is that we are focusing on soft skills. So when I speak with business and industry leaders, I hear very clearly, we can teach them how to do this job. What we need them to do is to be a great employee with the soft skills that are needed. So we are weaving things like cooperation into everyday learning experiences in our high school classes, so that when they practice this over time, they will have that soft skill set and will be excellent and valuable employees.
Well, now tell us a little bit, because they do have to graduate from high school.
How
do we start out?
So very similar to the other schools, they have to have the high school requirements to graduate. And that is my first responsibility. They've got to earn a diploma, a high school diploma. So we do front load as well. Not quite as accelerated as the early colleges. Our children probably won't be accessing the majority of their college classes until that junior year, maybe even that junior spring semester year, and then the senior, and then we also have the 5th year option as a super senior, so that they can finish those programs.
Okay, and are the classes standard algebra, English, or is that an opportunity to make them look more like workforce learning?
They are the high school required courses from the Department of Public Instruction, but we are committed to making the learning be more hands-on. We want children working together. We want them presenting to their peers. They will have opportunities early on, even as freshmen, to go out and job shadow. They were able to do that with our inaugural class last year. We have that scheduled in the spring. We want them to have work-based learning opportunities, because seeing children step onto maybe a construction site when they think they may be interested in that, and light bulbs go off and they understand this is where I belong, this is what I want to do with my life. That's a really rewarding feeling to help them find that path.
Absolutely. And you also have great ties to the community for an advisory board helping to continue that path.
Yes, so we will have 4 academy options. Our first Academy Advisory Boards met this morning. We are just in the works with that as we outfit a building to be able to house all of that. So we're going to be real intentional with recruitment around health careers, residential and commercial construction, public safety, and hospitality and tourism. We know those are the biggest gaps in our workforce in this area, and we are being responsive to the needs of the region.
So in cooperation with Cape Fear, you're making sure that there are jobs available for the areas that these students want to pursue.
Absolutely. Some of those areas, let's say a student may come in and want to join as a firefighter down the road. There's some age restrictions around some of the programs, so our academies are going to allow children to get a taste of that experience taught by high school teachers, and then it will be a seamless transition into the college classes.
Excellent. And another benefit with all the others is that it's free of charge.
Yes, it is. We will pick up the tab for the kits and the fees, and it's very exciting to be able to have this opportunity for children.
Which is tremendous because we see so many students having so much debt with education. It's great that they get this opportunity from the beginning. Now, are you on the same calendaring system as the community college or the high schools?
We added another wrinkle to all things calendar in New Hanover County Schools when we opened our doors, so we actually match the community college as much as calendar law will allow us to. Our spring break is aligned with the community college. I think that's different from Wilmington Early. But yes, we finish up at the semester just like a college campus and then start back after the holiday break.
And transportation, is it similar to what the others do?
Very similar. They are bused to their districted schools. They shuttle over. Wilmington Early and CTEC share the same buses, so they all come at the same time, and then they all dismiss at the same time.
Now, CTEC also has Pender County students.
We are hoping to pull some Pender County students in. It is an option for them. We are also looking at another thing that sets us apart from the early colleges is we have multiple entry points. So this year we're going to also be targeting those juniors, rising juniors, who maybe have figured out what it is they want to do now, and they have the bulk of their high school requirements under their belts, and now they think this is the route I want to go. So we want to be able to tap into those as well.
So when you mean multiple entry points, you mean from 9th, 10th, 11th, they can come in at any grade?
We are targeting 9th and 11th grade right now, but there is probably a possibility of bringing in a couple of 10th graders.
Okay, so that's an excellent opportunity. That makes it quite different than the rest.
Yes.
Again, before we wrap up, can you give us how CTEC is very much like a regular high school?
So our children have access to athletics at their districted high schools, so we don't have a designation.
Okay.
So maybe they miss their friends and they're living out on the island and they want to play with some folks on Ashley High School. That is an option for our students. That sets us apart. We do have lots of clubs. Children identify what those clubs are. They find leaders. And we run the clubs in response to their interest.
That's excellent. Well, as we wrap our session up with you, is there anything you want to reach out to students and parents and let them know about CTEC?
I just want to say again, come see us. Come see us. You can schedule a tour on our website any day, any hour. It will be a student-led tour with some adult support. And I think being in our building, it speaks for itself. If you can't make it to our building, talk to one of our children that we serve. They are our best advocates at this point. And our Friends of CTEC, PTA, has also really gone above and beyond and come together this year as we doubled in size. So lots of advocates out there. Come see us.
That's excellent. Thanks so much, Dr. Skipper. Now, don't go away. We'll be back with a few more topics to discuss with Dr. Markley. We'll be right back.
Learning is about more than just numbers and letters. Social and Emotional Learning, or SEL, teaches kids how to handle emotions, set goals, and make good decisions. Social awareness includes the ability to understand others from diverse backgrounds and cultures. Being able to respectfully acknowledge differences helps kids manage how they relate to others. Try this. Have children make a list of all the ways they are different from others. Then make a list of all the ways they are the same. Ask kids how recognizing our differences and similarities can make it easier to work together. Parents, caregivers, and teachers can ensure that social and emotional learning is part of a child's overall health and well-being. To find out more, visit First Book at firstbook.org/SEL. First Book is a nonprofit organization providing all children with equal access to the books and resources they need to succeed.
Welcome back for our final segment here on Upfront with the Superintendent. Dr. Markley is back with us to go over a few things that we've discussed today and to see if he can make sure we answer all your questions. Welcome back, Dr. Markley.
Thank you.
We've got a lot of great information today, but I know parents, their heads are spinning. They're trying to figure out, our high schools we hear have independent specialties as well. So can you kind of give us the big picture?
Yeah, the Board of Education in the past has been about providing parents as much opportunity and choice as possible. Our non-traditional high schools that you heard from today offer some great unique programs. And then we also have within our high schools smaller school-within-a-school programs. Lyceum is obviously the oldest one that most folks know about. IB Academy, STEM, and Marine Science. Those programs have some choice options if you're living outside of the school district, but in a much more limited capacity. So you can explore those as well. But also look at those individual programs, and all of them today offer an opportunity to go out and check them out. And I would do that. Those specialty programs are truly for students who want something different than that big comprehensive high school.
Yeah, there's more individualized learning, and that suits the success of learning for a lot of students to go to a smaller.
Well, it offers opportunities to do internships that may not be available. It offers acceleration, which isn't available. And the idea that 3 of the 4 of them are offering college at no cost is something that just simply isn't available to a lot of students. And it's an opportunity that we pride ourselves on being able to do. And I can't say enough about the community college and the university for being partners with us on those programs.
Absolutely, because the cost is tremendous from students, and we don't want that to deter them from being able to move on and do what they want to do. And this really gives them a leg up with these programs.
You look at a program like CTEC. You can walk out with a high school diploma and an industry credential and go straight to work, because a lot of our students, the 4-year college isn't the path that they want. But that opportunity doesn't exist in most places in the state.
Well, and I know each of them mentioned the Cooperative Innovative High School title. What does that mean? Is that something special, or
well, it's a designation from the state that allows them to do some things curricular-wise that other schools can't do. In order to access community college classes, you need that designation to get the full spectrum of courses that's available to students. It also gives them some of that flexibility around calendar and programming that other schools don't have. And that has to be approved by the State Board of Education. And all 3 of these have received that support from the state.
Well, that's excellent, because it really does provide opportunities for these students. Now, Dr. Skipper was talking about a cooperation with Pender County. Is CTEC our only?
CTEC's the only one that is open to Pender County students, and of course we're working with the Board of Education there to make that happen. They've gone through a leadership change, and obviously they're recovering from the hurricane, so that may take a little longer than it was originally planned. But we're looking forward to that kind of regional programming.
Well, that's excellent for the students. Now, and each of them also talked about parent involvement, which is always a concern with parents, and it's nice to know that they have that there.
Well, in a smaller school, I think the parents have more opportunity to see what's going on. Sometimes in a large school, you can get a little overwhelmed with 2,000 students. In a program where there's 400, 200 students, that parent can have a much more direct access to the folks in that school and become much more involved. It's really interesting to watch the parents as they interact. Did a recent presentation about CTEC, and the parents there love that hands-on interactive piece for their students.
Well, another important thing too is the invitation to the community. I mean, as you've seen with all of these, there are internships available and ability for businesses countywide to step in and kind of educate our students?
Well, you look at our partnership list, and this is something not just for these schools, but for all of our schools. We have tremendous partners who work with our schools. Live Oak Bank is a great partner. You look at the work that other organizations have done with our schools, and we're a public school system, and so it's important for us to connect with the public. And oftentimes they're the end consumer of the folks who graduate from our schools. So we want to make sure we're giving them the best educated students to enter the workforce that we have.
That's an excellent opportunity for all our students to learn at any level that they're interested in. As we wrap up, is there anything you would like to share with parents as we close this edition?
I would always say, when it comes to high school, that high school transcript is your ticket to college, or it's your ticket to your next career. So work with your students very closely on course selection. Don't let students choose courses because their friends are choosing them. Choose the programming courses that are best for the student. And once the students get into these programs, they absorb everything that's going on. They become a part of what's happening, and they'll build some of those lasting memories. So we've increased those options to connect back with a larger traditional school if that's something you still want to touch base with through athletics and other things. So it's an important parent-student decision together. And just learn about everything we've got going on.
Well, thanks so much. That's a great opportunity for our students, and they need to get ready because January is application time.
Yep.
Well, that wraps up this edition of UpFront. If you would like to learn more about any of the non-traditional high schools, please visit the school system's website at nhcs.net. Under the Schools tab, you'll find links to each of them, as well as phone numbers if you would like to give them a call, arrange a tour, or just ask some questions. On behalf of Dr. Markley and the staff here at NHCS TV, thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next month for another edition of UpFront with the Superintendent.